Hey everyone, Karen Dubs here. I'm on a little tear to create 8 to 10 minute yoga segments for you so that when you're in a hurry, you can get your workout in. Today's segment is going to be a little bit of arms, upper body, and a little bit of core. You can use yoga blocks. It's going to make it a little bit easier for you. I will put the link in the notes for the video if you want to pick these up on Amazon. And I'll also be using my favorite little Gym Boss timer tool here. So if you have blocks, go ahead and get those out. And we're going to start with a modified yogi push-up. 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest, 8 sets total. Okay, so go ahead and bring your hands onto your blocks if you have them. Otherwise, hands just straight on your mat is fine. I'll show you both. All right, so hands shoulder width distance apart. Modified or straight leg push-up, elbows close to the ribs makes this a yogi push-up, and then you're going to hinge back and come into child's pose. So inhale, shift forward, bend and lower, exhale, push down. Now you don't need any equipment for these exercises today. I am going to show you a modified version. So if you want to make it a little bit harder, right, you can certainly do a straight leg push-up, and instead of coming into child's pose, you'll hinge into downward facing dog. So either bent knee push-up with your child's pose or straight leg push-up in downward dog. Now if you're using your blocks, you have more range of motion because you'll be able to drop down that extra 2 inches between the blocks. And when you stretch back, you get a nice extra stretch through the shoulders and chest. So that's amazing to use the blocks. Take it or leave it. You have them. If you have them, then certainly use them. Next exercise is a plank into a side plank. So again, make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders. You're going to bring your big toes together to touch. Really use your core here and hold your plank pose. Make sure that you're looking slightly out in front of your mat so the back of your neck is long. Now we're going to flip into a side plank. And again, you should have a straight line from the wrist, elbow, shoulder. Pick your top hand up and then just lift your top hip. Look up to your top thumb if you can, and take 3 more breaths. Now an option also always is to pick up your top leg. That's going to make your balance and your core a little bit more engaged. You can always step this top foot out in front as well as an awesome modification. 1 more breath. And then go ahead and square off to your mat. Now you have the option here, a little added bonus, to do a vinyasa, elbows tight to the ribs. Inhale to a cobra or an upward facing dog. And then exhale, take a little rest in child's pose before we get side plank on the other side. Go ahead and shift your weight forward, curl your toes, come into a full plank. Again, toes together to touch, really squeeze your inner thighs to help you engage the core muscles. Make sure you have that straight line, shoulders, elbows, wrists. And then flip into your side plank, so the tops of your feet are stacked one on top of each other, the insides of the feet that is. Lift your top hip up to the sky, look up to your top thumb, and then again you have that option to lift the top leg if you want to, or you can modify by stepping that top foot out in front. Either way, really lift that top hip up to the sky. Take 1 more breath. Great for core and arms, and then square up to your mat for that optional vinyasa. So elbows bend tight to the ribs, inhale to your cobra or upward facing dog, good stretch, and then into your downward facing dog, and we will move on to the next exercise, which is a reverse tabletop lift. So if you have your blocks, you can use them. All right, you're going to come into a reverse tabletop. The blocks just make it a little bit easier on the wrists. But again, you can do it without them. It's also going to make it easier for this core exercise as you shift your hips back. Tailbone is hovering, legs straighten. So you inhale, lift your hips up to the sky, open the fronts of the chest and shoulders. Exhale, hinge back. This is great for core and upper body. So you're getting a stretch through the fronts of the chest, front of the chest and fronts of the shoulders, and you're working your core at the same time. So press up, up, up. And then hinge back. Try to keep your tailbone up. Okay, so if you don't have blocks, you can always use, they say phone books, but who has a phone book anymore? Nobody. Okay, so that was your reverse table lift. Next thing we're going to do is a core lift. So again, you can use your blocks, sorry bud, and have them on either sides of your hips. It's going to make it easier to lift your tailbone up, round your spine, bring your knees to your shoulders. I'll turn to the side so you can kind of see you're rounding just like this. And then you're going to shift And do the same thing. So recross your legs, left leg out in front. Exhale, lift your tailbone, round your spine, hold it up, and then continue to shift and switch sides. So round and lift, again, great for core and upper body at the same time. Now, if you're really adventurous and you want to pick that top foot up, try that. That's going to help you engage the core even more. Or pick both feet up. That used to be so easy for me, not so much anymore. But maybe it's easy for you. Again, we're all just on a progression and a journey. You do you, I will do me. Okay, that was your first round. So now we're going to do our second round. Push-ups into child's pose. Again, if you're using the blocks, make sure they're shoulder width distance apart. Get yourself ready. Modify with bent knees, coming into child's pose, or feel free to do straight legs, straight leg push-up, either with or without the blocks, into downward facing dog. Okay? So again, you do what's right for you. Modified into child's pose, or straight leg into downward facing dog. Now, I rarely lift weights, let me just tell you the truth. I just do these upper body exercises with yoga. And, you know, for me, as long as I'm incorporating good dietary habits, which is a whole other topic that you can tune into other videos on my channel for information on that. But the diet and the yoga body weight exercises is all I do. Yeah, true story. All right, so, and I'm turning 50 on top of that. So there you go. Plank into side plank. Level everything out. Make sure you have good alignment, toes together to touch. Use your core here. Hold for 3 breaths. Make sure you feel as if there's length through the back of your neck as well. Now flip into your side plank. Remember all of your modifications. Option to pick the top foot up. Option to have the foot out in front. Either way, lift this top hip to the sky and look up to your top thumb if you can. And then go ahead and square off. Optional vinyasa. Okay, you don't have to do this part. You can just stay in plank. And then flip to side plank on the other side. Again, take whatever modification you want to take with your side plank, but whatever you're choosing to do, do it with all you have. One more breath. Square off. Let's do that optional vinyasa. Elbows tight to the ribs. Work that upper body. You only have 2 more exercises left, so make it worth your while here. Reverse tabletop lift. So I'm not going to use the blocks this time, just to demonstrate without them. It is harder this way. So you're going to lift your hips up to the sky. Feel that nice stretch to the fronts of the chest and shoulder, and then hinge your weight back. Tailbone hovers above the ground as you straighten your legs. Now, my arms are long, I will say, so this is easier for me without the blocks than it is for people that have shorter arms. So it doesn't matter. You work with the body that you have and do the best you can. Prop your wrists up if you need to. It does make it easier. You have 15 seconds, you guys. Stay with it. Feel free to take a rest if you feel like you need to. All right, 5 seconds. Let's go one more. Up, up, up. And tailbone hovers. Use your core. Excellent job. Okay, core lift with or without the blocks. I'm going to use them because it makes it easier for me. And not that easier's path is always good, but it's just better on my wrists. So you can also use fists for wrists instead of flattening the palms if that's better for you. So lift and open the chest. Round up to your core plank. We're just going to hold for 3 breaths this time. Again, remember the options of lifting the front foot up. All of those beeps mean we're done. You did an awesome job. Release the tailbone down. One more time. Switch legs. Take a huge breath in. Open the chest and the shoulders. Exhale, tuck the tailbone around the spine. Up, up, up. Option to lift that front or both feet up. Give it a try. See how you can do. And then release it down. How will you know unless you try, right? Good job. Okay, so again, I will put the link to both the Gym Boss, which is honestly my favorite inexpensive gym tool because I only use body weight for the most part for my exercises. So this is great to keep me on task and moving along. Also, yoga blocks, yoga mat, those are nice things to have as well. I'll put the information for all of those products in the link of the description, okay? Have a great day, you guys. Let's take one more deep breath. Big breath in. Awesome job. Namaste. Stay flexible, warriors.